welcome back to What's Your Take? I'm Wyatt Spalding, and today we're going to talk about the Final Four and the championship game a little bit. That is tonight. Now, we're going to get to the biggest game first, which was the second game of the Final Four, was Duke and North Carolina. Probably one of the best Final Four games ever, not just because of uh, it was the biggest rivalry in college basketball, maybe even in sports, but just because it was a great game if you're a college basketball fan. And it was a great game. If you're just a college basketball fan, you want to see a good game. And if you're a Duke fan, like me, that sucked. That really sucked. Bad. It's hard to talk about. Coach K's last game. And we lose to North Carolina. That really, yeah. So let's get to the stats. So North Carolina won 81 to 77. Box score. So North Carolina had four guys scoring double figures. Babcock had 11 points off of 3 of 10 shooting, but he grabbed 21 rebounds. I think he made the biggest impact in the game because of those 21 rebounds. He grabbed 8 of them were offensive rebounds. That's crazy. 8 offensive rebounds. And Manic, he shot 4 for 10 from the field, 3 for 6 from the 3-point line, where he scored 14 points. He's done really well for North Carolina this year. He was a star at Oklahoma for like 3 or 4 years and just stepped right in and was in the first Duke UNC game. Duke blew UNC out, but Manic was the only real factor for North Carolina. So he has been a really good role for North Carolina this year. RJ Davis, he had 18 points on 6 of 13 shooting, 2 for 4 from the 3-point line. He also had 7 rebounds and 4 assists. Now this game was just back and forth the whole game. I think it was like Duke was, let's go play by play. Yeah, Duke was on top first, then North Carolina, and I think it was like 10 minutes ago, and Duke was up in the game. But then North Carolina started coming back. There we go. 41-40, and North Carolina was up, and then just like kept going back and forth, and never really got to like more than 2-point lead in the second half. So it's always going back and forth, and everyone's gonna say like Mark Williams should have made those free throws. Those free throws is what killed Duke. And yeah, that was a big moment in the game. But also, if Duke would have had multiple players in double figures scoring like North Carolina, they probably would have won. The biggest factor was with 47 seconds left. North Carolina hit that 3 that really put the dagger in the Duke's heart. And the guy that hit the 3 was Cable Love. He averages 16 points a game, and in this game, he led North Carolina with 28 points, 11 for 20 from the field, 3 for 10 from the 3-point line, and he just took over this game. He led North Carolina the whole way. I still think Babcock made the most impact for his rebounding and also scoring with his double-double, but Love will go down as making that 3 as one of the biggest shots, if not the biggest shot, in the Duke-North Carolina rivalry. Maybe. I hope it's not the biggest shot. Hopefully Duke gets a way bigger shot and they face each other again in the Final Four. But as of right now, that was a huge shot. They get no help from their bench. Troy Johnson played 9 minutes and had scored 2 points. So really, it was all their starters. And the only guy that didn't score in double figures was Black. He had 8 points, but he had 9 rebounds. That's pretty good. As for Duke, Pablo Banchero is the only one that's, well, Pablo Banchero and Trevor Keels are the only ones that scored in double figures. Pablo scored 20 points off of 8 for 17 from the field. He went 2 for 4 from the 3-point line, had 2 blocks, had 2 fouls, but so he kept out of foul trouble, but wasn't enough. Trevor Keels came off the bench, played 29 minutes, scored 19 points, 2 for 7 from the 3-point line. Well, that would help even more if he did better from the 3-point line because he's one of our better 3-point shooters, but only hit 2 threes, 8 for 14 from the field, 1 for 3 from the line. But he was the second leading scorer for Duke. Wendell Moore Jr. He was the third. He also got in double figures, but scored 10 points. AJ Griffin, he did not have the greatest night. Went 1 for 7 from the field, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. So he shot the best from the free throw line out of Duke, which I'll get into the free throws in a minute here. But did not shoot well. Only had 6 points. And then Mark Williams. He get Jeremy Roach. Let's do Jeremy Roach first. Jeremy Roach did not do well, and he was a big factor. They started Roach and in the tournament, and he was doing great. They moved Trevor Keels to the bench, started Roach, and it looked like he was going to be great. And it really did help Duke advance to the Final Four because he was really the only true point guard they had. But this game, he shot 2 for 11, 0 for 5 for 3, 4 for 5 from the free throw line, though. Scored 8 points and had 5 assists. Now, Mark Williams, he missed those 2 free throws. And I've said it before, like, Paulo Banchero is the best player on this team, but Williams is the big factor for Duke. When he has 10 points and 12 rebounds, or 12 points and 10 rebounds, or whatever, when he gets his double-double, Duke wins because he is such a force inside. But foul trouble is what really got Williams in this game. It wasn't just the free throws. If he wasn't in foul trouble, I think would have made a huge difference. But he played only 17 minutes, 4 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from the free throw line, which was big free throws that he missed for Duke, and scored only 8 points. So that was a huge blow for Duke, not getting some of their key players in double figures and scoring. Credit, I guess, North Carolina for shutting him down and only allowing Pablo and Keels and Moore to score double digits. Now, as an overall team, let's go team stats. North Carolina shot 27 for 64 from the field. Duke shot 30 for 72. 42% for North Carolina, 41% for Duke. 3-point percentage. This, I thought, was a huge factor. North Carolina shot 38%, going 10 for 26, and Duke only shot 22, almost 23% from the 3-point line, 5 for 22. That hurt them a lot, like a lot. If they would have hit more threes, like Ben, even just made 10 threes like North Carolina, maybe they would have won, and it wouldn't have been so close. I don't know, but that killed Duke. And then another one, 17 for 24 from the free throw line for North Carolina, 70%, almost 71% from the free throw line. And Duke only shot 60% from the free throw line. So it wasn't just Williams missing those big free throws. It was everybody just could not hit free throws on Duke. They shot 12 for 20. Not great when you want to win a Final Four game. Rebounds, North Carolina out-rebounded them. I mean, they should have, with Babcock grabbing 21 rebounds. Duke, it was 50 to 41 in the rebound category. Offensive rebounds, it's closer than I thought it would be. North Carolina outbid Duke only by 2, 17-15. Defensive rebounds, 33-26, North Carolina. Assists, Duke had more assists in the game, 12 to North Carolina 7. Then blocks, 5-4 for North Carolina. Total turnovers, North Carolina had 10 turnovers, and Duke had 4. And fouls pretty even. North Carolina actually had one more foul, which I was kind of surprised to see. But 19-18. But the big thing is 3-pointers and free throws for Duke that could not go in for the Blue Devils. Ugh. Damn it. Damn it. All right. Let's go. Now, this game, like I said, was back and forth the whole game. It was a great game. If you just love college basketball, it was a 1-2 point game the whole way until Love hit that 3 and just put the game out of reach for Duke and won it for North Carolina. And just a good game, a great game actually if you're a college basketball fan. Even better game if you're a North Carolina fan, or real crappy if you're a Duke fan. I hate doing this, but I got to. I've been talking college basketball all year, and I got to finish it through the season, even if my team choked. So let's get to the other game. Kansas Villanova. And even if Duke would have won, Duke and North Carolina, it was back and forth. North Carolina led, Duke led, North Carolina, Duke. No one really dominated the game until like the very, very end. But Kansas dominated from the tip. They never trailed, ever. They led Villanova as many by 19 points in this game. Credit to Villanova for coming back, but Kansas beat Villanova 81-65. Slater, Villanova had 16 points. Their top leading scorer, Gillespie, had 17 points off 6-11 shooting, 5 for 8 from the 3, so that's pretty good. Daniels went 5 of 14 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3, 13 points, and no help off the bench. It was just these 5 guys doing it all. Their second leading scorer was hurt, so you knew that was going to be a factor, but they still played hard. They got it down to like 6 or 7 at one point in the second half, but it just wasn't enough to come back from 19 down and beat Kansas. Now, Kansas, Wilson had 11 points, 4-11 shooting, but grabbed 12 rebounds. That's pretty good. 5 of them were offensive rebounds. Then, Harris had 9 points and 4 assists. Brown had 10 points, scored all 10 in the second half, hit 2 big threes in the second half to help increase Kansas's lead. And then Obaji, he had 21 points. He played really well. He was scoring like 15. I think against Creighton, he only scored like 15 points, which is crazy because, he was like candidate for player of the year, scoring 20 points a game. But this game, he really showed up and scored 21 points for Kansas, 6 for 8 from the field. And here's an even crazier stat. He was 6 for 7 from the 3-point line. 6 for 7. Damn. And he scored 21 points. That's really good. And their leading scorer for Kansas was David McCormick. Yeah, David McCormick averages 10 points a game and almost 7 rebounds. McCormick had 25 points and 5 or 6 from the free throw line. Went 10 for 12 from the field. Now, he's a center, and David is always in the lane, but he just dominated this game from start to finish. 25 points and 9 rebounds, like I said. Great game for McCormick. Yeah. And they also had really no help from the bench. They got 5 points from the bench. Remy Martin, who played really well. He had a couple big games for the Jayhawks this tournament, but he played 21 minutes and went 1 for 5 from the field, 1 for 3 from three, and scored 3 points only. But still, I wouldn't be surprised if Martin came out the bench and had a big game in the finals tonight. I mean, any of these Kansas guys could. They, out of the four teams, looked head to toe like the best team in the Final Four. I mean, the Duke North Carolina game was a better game. It was a great game. It will go down as a way better game to remember. But the Kansas team looked like they could win it all. And I mean, they're the number one seed, so I think they should look like the best team in the Final Four because they're a number one seed. And I think Duke was 2, North Carolina's 8, which is crazy that they're 8. And then Villanova was like a 2 or 3, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I think they were 2. So Kansas looked great, and it should be a really good game for Kansas, North Carolina. I bet it will be close. I hope Kansas kills North Carolina and they get destroyed, but probably won't happen. So get ready for tonight. Buckle in. It's going to be a great end to the 2021-2022 college basketball season, and it's going to be awesome. Just great. So watch Kansas, North Carolina tonight. National Championship 2022. Let's go. Thanks for watching. What's your take? And I'll be back later this week on thoughts on the Kansas, North Carolina National Championship game. Thanks for watching. What's your take?